So I want to end before you get a belly full. And tonight I will make a few comments, I think, on some mighty important national issues, and then with Howard and Jim's permission, I'll open it up for 3 or 4 questions if that's appropriate. You know, in looking at the national situation today, I recall some times when I have been scared and very concerned about the future of our country in the past. I remember, and it was 1962 or 63. I was in Franklin County High School in the chemistry class, and the chemistry teacher said, well, and it was at the heart of at the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis, said, your assignment for tomorrow is this, and if we are here, I'll see you and expect that assignment. I was scared at that time. And then I remember under Lyndon Johnson, I wondered whether the United States was going to be able to prevail in Southeast Asia, and I was concerned about the future of our country. And in the late 70s, I was concerned and upset because I could not understand how the United States could be paralyzed by, I think, accurately described as a third world country, Iran, in the late 70s with the hostage situation. And we could go on down. Before that, I was very concerned about whether the country which was fixated in 73 on the Watergate crisis, whether the country would survive that. And under Clinton, and I was there in Washington for part of the Clinton years, I wondered if we were going to be able to get past a couple who, in my opinion, wanted more than anything to be in power. And then under George Bush, who I must say, I didn't have a lot of association with him, but when I did, a friendly fellow. Someone you would like to go, Howard, to the Milwaukee Braves and see, although he'd probably be rooting for Texas. I wondered whether we could survive someone that did not believe that our borders, in my opinion, should be secure, and whether we were going to stop the invasion from Central America. But I have to tell you, like you, I suspect, and certainly myself, I was scared and concerned during those times in the past 4 decades. I am scared and concerned today about the course of our country. We have a deficit today of $1.8 trillion. Under Bush, at its height, was $400 billion. That's 4 times as great, and the debt is at $10 trillion and climbing. I also wonder whether our course in the world, and I am one who believes that we should always make the effort to be friendly with other nations, but I don't think we should adopt a philosophy and position that placating and appeasing is going to preserve and maintain the United States of America. Another area that gives me great cause for concern is what I fear is going to happen in the House of Representatives, in the United States Senate, and with the executive branch. One of the big focuses in this Congress, probably not till next year, will be what they will call comprehensive immigration reform. And that means amnesty. And you know what that is, but let me just tell you. It means a reward for breaking the law and getting to stay in the United States of America, because, as the street talk is, if you can get there and stay just a few years, you'll never have to go back. You will find some way, somehow. And the recent policy change, and we can use President Obama's arm. You get to stay in this country and go through all the processes here. In most other countries, you have to go outside the country and then, if you're not a citizen, go through the judicial or administrative process. Now, some people say that illegal immigration and legal immigration, and I'm not totally against legal immigration, but there are a number of things that's legal right now that need to be changed. Birthright citizenship is one. The United States is one of the few countries in the world that says even if you are here illegally and you have a child in the USA, that child gets to be an automatic citizen. And with that approach, you get Medicaid, you get food stamps, and you get assistance similar to SSI or TANF. It's a check in the mail every month. And the taxpayers who have been long-time citizens are paying the bill. And that's legal immigration, because the child born in this country is an automatic citizen. I don't care whether it's a constitutional amendment or a statute. That needs to be changed. Ron Paul has a constitutional amendment. Nathan Deal has a statute. Either way we can get that reversed. Needs to be reversed. Another thing that needs to end are diversity visas. That's the lottery system. $50,000 a year. From where it can even be some of the countries on a terrorist list can come in if you win the diversity visa lottery. Diversity visa lotteries were promoted in a big way by President Clinton. We need to end that. And I supported and co-sponsored the legislation to do that. The chances in this Congress, as Dizzy Dean used to say, to borrow another baseball phrase, are slim and none. But it needs to be ended. The asylee and refugee programs need to be evaluated. The taxpayers of this country are paying hundreds of millions of dollars for those programs. And that means, because most do not have assets when they come to this country as a refugee or asylee, no sponsors cover their bills. And I've read y'all's platform, which I think in many areas has outstanding philosophy and tremendous common sense. Is right on target. You come to this country legally. You need a sponsor who's going to cover you for 5 years for your expenses. And that is not the way it is now. In fact, the Congress this year in the SCHIP, State Children Health Insurance Program,